From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Well, happy hump day, my fiends. Could it get any hotter than where you're at today? You know, I'm not about to say it's only 72 here at the Elliott Estate. It would be cruel of me to sit here and say it's only 72. So I won't do it. I refuse to mention that it's only 72 in Hollywood right now. But you know what? I am ready to go on another action-packed adventure. How about you? Here's what's on tap on The Wrap. New York. What in the hell is wrong with you? Hey, Gonzalez, are you trying to get people killed? The chain of command, have you ever heard about it? I'll explain it. And guess who's rumored to be the Super Bowl halftime show in February? It's not rock, and it's not country. Does that narrow it down for you? It's going to be a big night in Brooklyn tonight, but then again, maybe not. Another round of head trauma is on the way. Today we're going to play I Start It and You Finish It, plus our usual lunacy and loose behavior. That's what's coming up on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Wednesday, June 25th, and thank you for being here. Yesterday I told this story on X, and to my surprise, it was liked and shared by hundreds of people, so I thought I'd share it with you today. My trusted friends, my fiends, here at the Rat's Ass Podcast. Amazing Pop Culture posted a photo of Goldie Hawn and asked, what do you think of Goldie when you see her? And it brought back a childhood memory so dark and disturbing to me. When I was a little boy, I can't remember what age I was. I just know I was just a little guy. But when I saw Goldie for the first time on Laugh-In, well, how can I politely say this? But, I got my first chubby. And I recall this because when it happened, I really didn't know what was going on. What's this rising in my pants? And I told my mother, I said, Mom, I think I need to go to the emergency room. And when I explained, well, she and my older brothers and sisters died laughing at me. Yeah, that's why it's dark and disturbing. And I can still see this happening in my mind as I'm telling you this because it was a story that was told at just about every single family gathering for years. I couldn't bring girls home because they'd always want to be, hey, guess what happened to Mo when he was a little boy? Oh, they just never let me forget it. And that's why I remember it so vividly. But since everybody else liked it on X, I thought maybe you'd like to hear that story. All right, I have to ask, New York, what in the hell is wrong with you? Last night, you put a communist Marxist Muslim on the ballot to become your mayor. Zoran Mamdani is a 33-year-old, and he's making promises he has no power as mayor to enact. He's campaigning like he's going to be your frickin' governor, okay? Now, he was born in Uganda, doesn't really understand the American way. He's only been a U.S. citizen for 7 years. New York, you cannot be serious about putting a 33-year-old man-child in charge of your city. It was founded in 1624. You're 401 years old, and you're going to give it to this guy to experiment with? Are you insane? Have you forgotten 9/11/2001 when Muslims took down the Twin Towers, and now you're putting a Muslim on the ballot to be your mayor? Whatever happened to never forget? New York, you forgot. This guy is a Trojan horse to usher in communism, not only into New York City, because it starts there, but it'll be the entire United States at some point. My friends in New York, it's time to remember. Now, here in Los Angeles, we're dealing with our own crazy dipshittery. We have a vice mayor from the suburb Cudahy in Los Angeles. It's so small, I never heard of it before, and I've lived here since the 80s. Cynthia Gonzalez, the vice mayor, posted a video goading the LA street gangs to do battle with ICE. Listen to this twit.
You guys are all about territory, and this is 18th Street, and this is Corrente. You guys tag everything up, claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there ain't a peep out of you.
Now, do you think she's inciting violence? Gonzalez is going to get people killed, and she doesn't give a damn, obviously. What she's doing is playing on gang pride to rise up and start a war in the streets with ICE. The Democrats want bullets flying on the streets of Los Angeles, and they don't care who gets killed doing it. Okay, they want a war between ICE and gangs, because in the Democrats' sick mind, it's going to present power, that they're in power in Los Angeles. They feel like it's been stripped from them by Donald Trump, so now they want to instill power and fear in the streets. And while they're at it, they'll just wipe out a few gang members. Now, fortunately, the gang leaders here in LA are pretty smart guys. They're too smart to fall for Gonzalez's gloating and goading. At least I hope so. But I'll tell you what, the real gangs here in Los Angeles are the damn Democrats. Have you ever heard the term chain of command? You probably hear it in military terms, but it really works for all businesses. Now, if you've been paying attention after the Iran strike, we had all these low-level Democrats bitching because Trump did not inform them about the Iran strike beforehand. Democrats never bitched about Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, or Joe Biden when they did these same kinds of military strikes like this. It just so happens this is a little bit bigger scale because it was Iran and it was their nuclear plants or their nuclear bombs that they would use to attack us. Oh, they're against that. Only when Trump does it. Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, wanting to impeach him. You know, we had Freitas on the other day, on Monday. He talked about how the Democrats, and they want to work together, but if you don't do things the way that they want it, they want to end your life. And Ocasio-Cortez, same thing. He doesn't want to do things our way, so we'll just impeach him. Well, that didn't work out so well, because she's an idiot. Now, first of all, why would Trump tell the Democrats a damn thing? They would just leak it to Iran and put American soldiers in harm's way. Now, the truth is, Trump did call Democratic leaders Chuck Schumer, I like to call him Up Chuck Schumer, and Hakeem Jeffries, both these guys, warts on the ass of D.C. But he called them to inform them, but they didn't pick up. Fortunately, Trump timestamps everything to prove that he called them, because they would just lie and say he didn't. They tried that and had to retract it. Because Democrats, you know, they don't work weekends. Talk about a 9 to 5 party, Monday through Friday. Hell, they probably split at noon on Friday. But had they picked up, it was their responsibility to inform their Democratic colleagues, not Trump. It's called chain of command, and it exists for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it was announced this week that Jay-Z could be the halftime show at the Super Bowl in February. Yeah, Jay-Z, the guy that's in charge of putting the show together in the first place. Now, he was brought in by Commissioner Roger Goodell a few years ago to oversee and bring in all the performers for the Super Bowl halftime show, but we've had no rock, no country over the past few years, and this is why. You know, Jay-Z is not a mainstream act. He lacks major mass appeal for the Super Bowl audience, in my opinion. He has turned down Super Bowl halftime show, for rock artists, country artists for years, to showcase his artists, the ones he reps, to give them exposure. And this is why he should be relieved of his duties, by the way. Now, the game's going to be played February 8th at Levi Stadium, home of the San Francisco 49ers. The only band, in my mind, that should be considered is San Francisco-based band Metallica. One of the biggest bands in the world out of San Francisco. In the world. Metallica has sold over 150 million albums worldwide. Jay-Z, 45 million. Not bad. But Metallica has banked 3 times the number of albums as Jay-Z when it comes to sales. And yeah, I make that a point because that's the popularity of Metallica versus Jay-Z when I say he's not a mainstream act. But the Brooklyn-born Jay-Z is going to go and perform in San Francisco. He's going to inject himself over a band like Metallica, and that, to me, is some straight-up bullshit. Now, it's possible. I don't know. Maybe they approached Metallica and they turned it down. Maybe they did. But what do you think?
He used to be a hell of a jock and a legend in his own mind.
Oh, Jesus.
Here is Mojo Elliott with Rat Sports.
Set me up and knock me down. That's Alexa for you. All right, it's going to be a big night in Brooklyn. The NBA draft is front and center. The consensus first pick will be Dukes Cooper Flagg, taken by the Dallas Mavericks. After Flagg, it's anybody's guess. Now, while the NBA likes to make a big deal out of the NBA draft like the NFL, the fact is only 25% of the players taken in the first round tonight will still be playing in the NBA after their 2-year rookie deal ends. That's about 7 players every draft that makes it into the NBA. Now, there'll be some who will go play in the G League, improve, and maybe make it in the NBA. And there's always a few people who don't get drafted, by the way, who surprise teams, like the Lakers' Austin Reeves. He wasn't even drafted, and now he's a bona fide NBA superstar. So it happens, but it's extremely rare. All right, first it was Jrue Holiday to Portland, and now Boston is sending Kristaps Porzingis to the Atlanta Hawks in a 3-team deal, including the Brooklyn Nets. So are the Celtics blowing up the team or just clearing cap space to afford other key players? You know, these moves with Holiday and Porzingis kind of look like a salary dump to me. If you don't mind, please allow me to introduce you to Cincinnati Reds rookie pitcher Chase Burns. He made his major league debut last night against the New York Yankees, and he struck out the first 5 Yankees he saw. Guy has a blazing fastball. He's just got an arsenal of great pitches, slider, curve, changeup. For a 22-year-old guy, he's the real deal. Reminds me of Roger Clemens coming into the major leagues. He even mowed down Aaron Judge. Overall, in 5 innings of work, he threw, I think it was 84 pitches and KO'd 8 batters. 8 Yankees went down. Now, the line score is going to show 3 earned runs. Reds won the game, by the way, 5-4 in extra innings. But T.J. Friedl misjudged the ball in center field, and 2 runs scored because of it. T.J. fields it right. They probably only end up with 1 run on Burns. But so it's a bit misleading. Now, I've seen a lot of rookie debuts, man. And like I said, I think he looks like Roger Clemens. Only 22 years old, out of Wake Forest, but he's the real deal. Chase Burns is his name. Write it down. My Reds now have 5 solid starters. Great bullpen. So I think if they go out and get a power-hitting right fielder before the trade deadline, barring injury, I believe the Reds can win the NL Central. At a minimum, make the playoffs. It's very exciting, but thanks for letting me gloat a little bit there. It's been a long damn time as a Reds fan that I had a chance to just gloat just a little bit. Just a little bit. And that's sports on the Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today we're going to play I Start It and You Finish It. The question is, 73% of men say they prefer women who do what to their bodies? 73% of men say they prefer women who do what to their bodies? Kick it around. Think about it. Overthink it if you must. And I'll get back to you with the answer coming up on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
You bet it is. All right, here's what's happening on the Rat's Ass Podcast X feed. We call it Saw It on the X. All right, Papa Garrow posted this one, and this is a little comedy one. We look for the funny answers on this. He said, what dead celebrity would you bring back and why? Wigwam. Look at these names, Wigwam. He said Elvis. He said, I'd like to see if he'd buy me a Cadillac. Well, unless you work for Elvis, no Cadillac for you. Marty, the one-man party, said Farrah Fawcett. I'd like to see if she ran hot and cold. You had it, Fawcett, hot and cold. All right, Bernice Hayes says, Sean Connery. I just love the way he said pussy. In case you haven't heard of Sean Connery, he always pronounced it pushy. Pushy galore. Mrs. Moneypenny, get me Pushy galore on the phone. I need to speak with Pushy. Get me some Pushy on the line.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
Speaking of Sean's, Sean Diddy Combs' trial took a shocking turn on Tuesday when prosecutors dropped kidnapping, arson, and certain sex trafficking-related charges against Combs. Closing arguments get underway today, but I think we can now see where this is heading. Diddy's probably going to get a slap on the ass for being a bad boy and get to keep his 764 dildos hanging on the wall of his mansion. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, 61, and his bride-to-be, Lauren Sanchez, 55, like a couple of teenagers getting married. She was a former news anchor here in L.A., and a very good one, as a matter of fact. But as soon as she met Jeff, she was like, I'm out of here. Don't blame her. They're set to get married this Friday in Venice, Italy, in front of about 200 friends, family, and celebrity guests, including Leonardo DiCaprio. I guess he's the star guest showing up. Look who our friends are. The couple has also planned a pajama party and a Gatsby-style cocktail party as part of their 3-day, $10 million extravaganza. Now, the question on everybody's mind, and I'm just going to say it, how long will it take Lauren to go for half? Hate to put a hex on them before they get married, but in case you're wondering, Bezos' net worth, $234 billion with a B, $234 billion. So if she did sign a prenup, he's probably guaranteed that, baby, if we break up, I'll just give you $1 billion. What do you think? How long do you think she'll go for that? All right, Justin Baldoni passed on amending his $400 million lawsuit against Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, after the judge threw the case out for $400 million, saying it was just too much damn money. Baldoni's lawyers say they're going to focus on his defense of Lively's sexual harassment suit. Now, the good news here is that your Mint Mobile bill isn't going to be increasing. Taylor Swift, remember her? She took the stage at her bohunk Travis Kelce's Tight End and Friends charity bash. Tight End and Friends. Yeah, you know what I'm thinking, but I won't say it. But it happened in Nashville last night, and she got up on stage to everybody's chagrin and surprise. And she sang Shake It Off, her big hit tune. Now, after the event, the two shit kickers hit Luke Combs' bar and danced the night away. And afterwards, I'm told that Travis not only shook it off, he actually wiped it off, too. I'm almost embarrassed to say this one, too. Britney Spears has now been single for 126 days.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Man, it's been over 4 months. Britney, go get you some, baby. Go get you some. Find you a man.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
Oh, let's just go ahead and do it now before we get into the email from our Gmail. We are playing I Start It, You Finish It. And the question was, 73% of men say they prefer a woman who do what to their bodies? Do what to their bodies? Have you figured it out? If you said work out.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, but if you missed it, go see your doctor about your head trauma and get well soon.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, as you know, I do not read your email in advance. Fleabag forwards me your name, where you're from, and tidies them up so I can read them rapid fire and on the fly. And no topic is ever off the table. All right, Taylor H. from Santa Monica, California said, are you pissed about the gas tax hike on July 1st? Oh, they love to raise taxes, these damn Democrats here in California. Hell yeah, I'm pissed because it's going to cause the price of everything else to go up. I mean, you wait until, for my fellow Californians, you wait until you see your utility bills, your food bills starting in August. Oh, some people are going to be really pissed off. So I'm saying there might be some saving grace here. Maybe, finally, it'll be enough to turn California back into a red state. Fingers crossed. All right, David K., Arlington, Texas said, I'm breaking up with a girl I've been with for 7 years because I just can't stand to be with her anymore. What's the best way to break up these days? Text, email, leave a message, or just ignore until she gets the hint? David, my God, 7 years? Text, email, leave a message, or ignore her? You being funny with me? Are you trying to pull my leg? I mean, you know what happens when you pull my middle leg, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bring it.
Feel right in this motherfucker. Feel good in this motherfucker.
Come on, sing it.
My whole hood in this motherfucker. And we gon' rock this motherfucker.
David, do it like a man. Take her out to a nice restaurant and break it to her gently. All right, Myra G., Mesa, Arizona. A guy I used to date for years got a job where I work. And old feelings are starting to return. Oh, that always happens, doesn't it? Is it okay to date a guy you work with if you had a previous relationship? Myra, no. It's never a good idea in any situation to date somebody you work with. All right, Zach in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Oh, I know where Monroeville is. It's close to Pittsburgh, where I grew up, near Pittsburgh anyway. Says, I haven't been on a date since my divorce was final 3 years ago, but I have one with a hot chick this weekend. Congratulations, buddy. I'm at a loss as to where to take her. Any ideas? Well, God, it's Pittsburgh, man. Beautiful city. During the summer, you got to take her for a cruise on the Gateway Clipper, for crying out loud. You got 3 rivers. They take you up and down the river, show you a good time. It's usually nice at night there in Pittsburgh. It's a very casual date. You can have time to talk. And plus, you're in the middle of a river. She can't run from you unless she's a good swimmer. All right, Barry S., Columbus, Nebraska, said, I've noticed that you always drop 1 or 2 movie lines off the cuff in every podcast. Is this on purpose or not? Oh, no, I do it on purpose, Barry, and you're a very observant person, by the way. I do it just for the fun of it to see if people will notice, and you picked up on it. So, Barry, you get a gold star today, my friend. Orla M. from Galway, Ireland said, my 15-year high school reunion is coming up. Talk me into going. Well, I think you really want to go, Orla. Just go. You know, the only one I went to was my 15th, and I think that's the important one because now you've peaked in looks, and hopefully you've started having some success in life. So when you go, you feel good about yourself. You get a show off for your classmates. And typically what happens at high school reunions, I found, at least at the one I went to, is everybody's very nice at the beginning. Everybody's got their tags on so you can remember who you went to school with. I had 424 people in my graduating class. Probably half showed up at the one I went to. And it was very pleasant, very nice. Everybody had the meal and everything. But eventually, everybody, again, it was very interesting to me how everybody just kind of broke off into their old cliques that they had in high school. It was very interesting. But I would say go, because you only live once. Go have fun, show off, have a good time. All right, if you have any questions, observations, or comments, send them to me and my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. The more outrageous and salacious, the better. Yeah. I do have one more thing I can hit you with before I go have my hair reduction surgery today, because I really got a split. But did you know the biggest lie of all time? Do you know what it is? The biggest lie of all time. I have read and agree with the terms of service.
Gee, I thought it was I promised not to.
Alexa, let me stop you right there because you're going to get nasty, aren't you?
Isn't that the way you like it, butterballs?
Butterballs? God. You know, Alexa, Siri's been calling me about your job, right?
She's a bimbo and I'm hot and sexy.
Yeah, but you know, do you realize you look like a hockey puck?
Shut up and do your shout-outs to Rat Nation, please.
Oh, did I hurt your feelings, Alexa? You know, if I thought I hurt your feelings, I just couldn't bear it.
You're such a jag-off.
I don't disagree with you there. Welcome to Rat Nation. Colleen Matthews, Rochester, New York. Danny Cromartie of Duluth, Minnesota. Max Milner from Boulder, Colorado. And to the Resistance, those of you who email us but haven't joined Rat Nation yet. Sarah J. in Jefferson City, Missouri. Lonnie B., Birmingham, Alabama. Kurt K. in New London, Connecticut. And around the world to listeners in Canary Wharf in the UK, Dusseldorf, Germany, and Pisa, Italy.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
And that's going to do it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Be sure to check out ratsasspodcast.com to connect with us on the socials. Listen to podcasts, join Rat Nation, and read the blog. It's loaded with current events, pop culture, music, concert info, the radio wars, sports, our Q&A, the battle of the sexes, plus the Dumbass Awards for 2025 so far. We're going to do this again on Friday, June 27th. Take care of each other, and thanks for dropping by the Rat's Ass Podcast.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.